Welcome to our professional training series in divination, tarot, and astrology. The following training in tarot was developed for students that are going through the courses with the School of Our Divine Infinite Being. We wanted to make our training available to the general public here on YouTube, while also encouraging those interested in a career as a divination professional in astrology and tarot. To check out our programs at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. We have post-graduation program assistance that you will not find anywhere else. This includes live video consultation technology, calendar booking, social share tools, affiliate program development, e-commerce, and the opportunity to take clients from the marketing efforts of our talented in-house staff. Again, you'll find all of this at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. Sponsored by astrologypro.com. The #1 platform for astrologers and tarot readers to operate their divination services. We hope you enjoy this training. Welcome everyone. Today we will be speaking about the Death card in the tarot. For those of you that practice divination, and especially those working with transformation, shadow work, or cycles of release and renewal, this is a very important card. And of course, for those of you practicing tarot within our school, here at the School of Our Divine Infinite Being, the Death card becomes a key archetype to understand. This archetype connects you to the process of endings and beginnings, where something must be released so that something new can emerge. It is not about literal death, but about transformation, transition, and the shedding of what no longer serves. So I'm going to get into a description of what you see on the card, and then we'll go deeper into the symbolism through the following slides. This isn't done in any specific order, more of a top-down approach on the card itself, just to make it easier for you to follow the arrows. If you'll notice, the arrows on the left are associated with the descriptions on the right, so I'm just going to read them top down. The Roman numeral 13 represents the ending of a significant phase in life, prompting personal transformation and the rebirth of new opportunities. Santa Muerte, Grim Reaper, embodies the sacred force of dissolution that strips away outworn forms so that life's hidden vitality can flourish anew, reflecting the Death card's alchemical cycle of putrefaction and resurrection. Goddess Kali mirrors the purifying force that destroys illusion to make way for regeneration and higher awakening. Soul incarnations represents spirit's continual transformation through cycles of dissolution and rebirth, embodying the law of solvet coagula. Mortality symbolizes the alchemical dissolution of form, death as a transformative process where decay becomes the seed of renewed life. Scythe symbolize the precise and inevitable act of cutting away old habits, relationships, or situations that hinder growth, emphasizing the necessity of endings. Served human head symbolizes the relinquishing of ego and personal attachments, illustrating the idea that true transformation requires the sacrifice of outdated beliefs and self-perceptions. Eagle represents the death of the ego and subsequent unity with God, symbolizing spiritual enlightenment. Scorpion symbolizes the physical life trapped within time limits, representing the lowest form of death. Fish symbolizes the transformative energy of the unconscious, highlighting the need to embrace emotional depth and intuition as one navigates significant life change. Serpent symbolizes the transformative power of death and rebirth, representing the process of shedding old identities and habits to embrace new growth. Shadow psychology signifies confrontation with the unconscious, the dissolution of hidden aspects of self to achieve inner renewal and integration. Scorpio represents the profound and often tumultuous transformations that arise from confronting inner shadows and emotional complexities. Santa Muerte, Grim Reaper, keeper of sacred dissolution, the holy harvest of transformation. Santa Muerte embodies the profound force of sacred disintegration that lies at the heart of the Death card. Her scythe cuts away the exhausted forms of the old self, releasing the vital essence hidden beneath decay. In this way, she mirrors the card's alchemical process, where the breaking apart of structure becomes the very catalyst through which new life, clarity, and power emerge. Harvester of the old self. Santa Muerte symbolizes the necessary cutting away of what has completed its purpose, outdated identities, stagnant emotions, and structures that have hardened past usefulness. Her role is not to destroy blindly, but to harvest the elements of one's life that no longer serve spiritual evolution. This selective dissolution echoes the Death card's teaching that growth requires clearing space for renewed vitality to take root. Alchemical breakdown and release of vital force. The Grim Reaper's blade represents the alchemical putrefaction process, the deliberate breaking down of form, so that its inner essence may be liberated. Under the Death card, this corresponds to the release of latent energy trapped within old patterns. San tu Muerte reveals that true transformation does not occur through gentle shifts, but through the dismemberment of outdated structures, freeing the psychic and spiritual forces needed for renewal. Guardian of the threshold between cycles. San tu Muerte stands at the liminal boundary where endings turn into beginnings. Her presence marks the transition between one phase of being and the next, guiding the seeker through the vulnerable, formless state that precedes rebirth. This threshold mirrors the card's symbolism. One must pass through dissolution to access a more potent, reorganized version of the self. She ensures that this passage, though unsettling, unfolds with purpose and direction. Catalyst of regeneration and inner resurrection. Though associated with death, Santa Muerte ultimately represents renewal. Once she has removed what is deadened or rigid, she prepares the ground for reassembly and transformation. In this way, she echoes the Death card message that every collapse contains the seed of resurrection. Through surrender to her purifying force, the seeker encounters a revitalized state of being, one that is lighter, clearer, and aligned with deeper truth. Goddess Kali, embracing destruction and rebirth. The symbolism of Goddess Kali in the Death card. Kali embodies the primal force of transformation that annihilates illusion and clears the path for spiritual renewal. Within the Greater Arcana Tarot, her energy parallels the Death card's essence, the sacred dance of destruction that liberates consciousness from the bondage of stagnation. Her presence reflects the truth that creation and dissolution are inseparable aspects of the same divine rhythm. Destroyer of illusion, Kali symbolizes the dissolution of the ego and the shattering of false identities. Her fierce aspect reveals that what appears terrifying is in truth the compassionate act of freeing the soul from ignorance and attachment. Through her, endings are revealed as acts of mercy that awaken higher awareness. Agent of regeneration, her destructive force is also the womb of creation. As she consumes decay, new life emerges purified and redefined. This mirrors the Death card's symbolism of alchemical putrefaction, where decay fertilizes the ground for spiritual rebirth and renewed vitality. Liberation through transformation. Kali's presence under the Death card signifies liberation through surrender. By embracing the dissolving force rather than resisting it, one aligns with the eternal cycle of transformation. In her dance, death is not an end, but the ecstatic release into divine continuity, where the old self dies and the eternal self awakens. Soul incarnation, journey through lifetimes. The essence of soul incarnation in the Death card. The concept of soul incarnation under the Death card represents the ceaseless rhythm of transformation, the soul's journey through continual dissolution and renewal. It reflects the sacred process where consciousness descends into form, experiences growth through limitation, and re-emerges refined through release. Life and death are thus seen as alternating movements in one eternal current of existence. Cycle of transformation. Soul incarnation symbolizes the recurring pattern of solvent coagula, the dissolution of old structures and the reconstitution of new ones. Each transition, whether physical or psychological, mirrors the soul's ongoing alchemical evolution through successive phases of being. Integration through experience. Every passage through change refines the essence of the soul, integrating wisdom born of contrast, joy and sorrow, creation and loss. Through each dissolution, the inner being is purified, leaving behind forms that no longer serve its growth. Continuity beyond form. The Death card reveals that incarnation is not bound by a single lifetime but by consciousness continually reshaping itself. The soul's descent into matter and its return to the unseen are both acts of divine renewal, reaffirming that what dies in form persists in essence. Awakening through renewal. Each metamorphosis represents a step toward greater awareness. The soul learns to embrace impermanence not as an end, but as the very instrument of evolution, discovering through death the deeper rhythm of eternal life. Keyword: mortality, awareness of life's transience. Mortality, as symbolized under the Death card, represents the sacred understanding that all forms must eventually dissolve to sustain the continuity of existence. It teaches that death is not annihilation but transformation, the necessary release that allows new life to emerge from decay. This awareness instills reverence for the fleeting nature of form and the eternal rhythm that underlies it. Fleeting nature of existence. Mortality reminds us that life, in its changing forms, is transient and impermanent. Every structure, physical, emotional, or mental, must yield to transformation so that consciousness can evolve and renew itself. Acceptance of the natural cycle. Acknowledging mortality aligns one with the universal process of dissolution and regeneration. This recognition transforms fear into wisdom, revealing that every ending is an initiation into a subtler, more refined state of being. Catalyst for spiritual renewal. Confronting mortality awakens a deeper appreciation for life's sacred cycles. It compels the soul to detach from superficial attachments, encouraging alignment with the eternal essence that persists beyond death and change. Revelation of true continuity. Through the awareness of mortality, one perceives that permanence resides not in form but in process, the continuous unfolding of life through birth, decay, and rebirth. In this understanding, death becomes not an end, but the movement through which the soul rediscovers its own immortality. Sight, agent of change and renewal. The sight as a symbol of transition and transformation in the Death card. Agent of change and release. The sight serves as a powerful symbol of the precise and decisive act of cutting away old habits, relationships, and situations that hinder personal growth. It emphasizes the importance of actively engaging in the transformative process by identifying and severing ties with what no longer serves one's highest good. This act of release is crucial for creating space for new beginnings and opportunities. Emphasizing the necessity of endings. The presence of the sight highlights the inevitability of endings in the journey of life. It reinforces the understanding that some aspects of our lives must come to a close for growth and renewal to occur. By accepting this necessity, individuals can approach change with a sense of purpose, recognizing that letting go is an essential part of their evolution. Empowerment through intentional choices. The scythe symbolizes empowerment, illustrating that individuals have the agency to make intentional decisions about what to release. This clarity and focus enable them to take control of their lives, reclaiming their power by actively choosing to cut away what is detrimental. In doing so, they open themselves up to new possibilities, fostering personal growth and revitalization in their journey. The symbolism of the scythe under the Death card serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of actively engaging in the process of transformation. By representing the precise act of cutting away old habits, relationships, and situations that hinder growth, the scythe emphasizes that endings are not only necessary, but also vital for personal evolution. Served human head, representation of release and renewal. Relinquishing the ego. The severed human head symbolizes the critical act of relinquishing the ego, emphasizing the necessity of letting go of self-centered identities and attachments. This surrender enables individuals to connect with their true essence, moving beyond the superficial layers that define their perceptions of self. Sacrifice of outdated beliefs. This imagery illustrates that genuine transformation requires the conscious sacrifice of outdated beliefs and self-perceptions. The severed head serves as a stark reminder that clinging to limiting thoughts, such as fear of failure or unworthiness, hinders personal growth and progress. Catalyst for profound change. The served head signifies that meaningful transformation often demands significant sacrifice. By deliberately releasing what no longer serves them, be it toxic relationships, negative habits, or outdated aspirations, individuals can create a fertile ground for new opportunities and profound personal change. Embracing vulnerability. The imagery of the severed head represents the courage to embrace vulnerability. This act of confronting the fear associated with letting go of the ego allows individuals to experience strength and resilience, fostering an environment conducive to transformation and personal evolution. Invitation to inner reflection. The served human head encourages deep inner reflection, prompting individuals to examine their identities and attachments. This self-evaluation is essential for identifying aspects of themselves that need to be relinquished in order to embrace a more authentic and fulfilling existence, ultimately leading to renewal and growth. The symbolism of the served human head under the death card powerfully underscores the necessity of relinquishing the ego and outdated beliefs as prerequisites for true transformation. By highlighting the act of sacrifice, this imagery compels individuals to confront and release self-centered attachments that inhibit their growth. Eagle, embodying transformation and higher perspective. Death of the ego. The eagle under the death card represents the death of the ego, symbolizing the relinquishment of superficial identities and the shedding of limiting beliefs. This transformation allows individuals to confront their fears and false self-perceptions, paving the way for authentic self-discovery. Unity with the divine. This symbolism emphasizes the potential for achieving unity with God or a higher consciousness. The eagle's association with the spiritual realm highlights the journey toward recognizing one's divine essence, encouraging individuals to seek a connection that transcends their ego-driven desires. Path to spiritual enlightenment. The eagle embodies the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, illustrating that ego death can lead to profound insights and clarity. By relinquishing attachments to the ego, individuals can attain a deeper understanding of their purpose and the interconnectedness of all existence. Higher perspective on life. The eagle's ability to soar above the ground signifies gaining a broader perspective on personal challenges and experiences. This vantage point encourages individuals to rise above their immediate struggles, fostering a sense of wisdom that aids in navigating their spiritual journey. The symbolism of the eagle under the death card powerfully embodies the themes of ego death and spiritual enlightenment. By representing the necessary relinquishment of superficial identities, the eagle encourages individuals to confront their limiting beliefs and embrace their authentic selves. Soul, journey of eternal transformation. The soul significance in the death card. Cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The soul under the death card represents the eternal cycle of endings and beginnings, illustrating that life is a continuous process of transformation. Each conclusion, whether physical, emotional, or mental, serves as a stepping stone for the soul to progress toward renewal and higher understanding. This cyclical nature emphasizes that death or endings are not final, but essential transitions that facilitate spiritual growth. Release of attachments and limitations. Central to the soul's symbolism is the act of letting go, releasing attachments, outdated beliefs, and restrictive patterns that no longer serve one's growth. This process allows the soul to shed unnecessary burdens and make room for new experiences, insights, and opportunities, fostering a sense of liberation and personal transformation. Confrontation and integration of life lessons. The soul under the death card reflects the need to confront challenges, fears, and unresolved issues. By facing these experiences consciously, the soul gains clarity, resilience, and a deeper understanding of life cycles. This confrontation ensures that transformation is not superficial, but deeply rooted in self-awareness and acceptance. Eternal and timeless essence. The soul's symbolism emphasizes its eternal nature, transcending physical life and temporal limitations. It serves as a reminder that while the body and circumstances change, the soul continues to evolve, learn, and renew itself. This timeless aspect underscores the sacred nature of transformation, highlighting that endings are opportunities for profound spiritual growth and connection with one's higher self. Scorpion, agent of deep transformation. Symbol of mortal limitations. The scorpion under the death card embodies the concept of physical life constrained by time, highlighting the inherent limitations and vulnerabilities of mortal existence. This representation serves as a reminder that life is finite and encourages individuals to recognize the transient nature of their physical reality, prompting a deeper understanding of mortality and its implications. Awakening to deeper realities. By representing the lowest form of death, the scorpion invites individuals to transcend the superficial aspects of life and explore deeper spiritual dimensions, This symbolism encourages self-reflection and introspection, pushing one to confront the boundaries of their existence and seek a more profound connection with their inner selves, thus facilitating personal growth and enlightenment. Catalyst for transformation. The Scorpion serves as a catalyst for transformation by urging individuals to confront and embrace their limitations. This confrontation is essential for breaking free from self-imposed constraints and fostering personal evolution. By recognizing the Scorpion's significance, individuals are inspired to let go of fears and attachments, ultimately leading to renewal and a deeper sense of purpose in their lives. The Scorpion symbolism under the Death card serves as a powerful reminder of the limitations of physical existence and the transformative potential that lies within confronting those constraints. By acknowledging the transient nature of life, individuals are encouraged to embark on a journey of self-discovery, transcending superficiality to explore deeper spiritual truths. Fish, embodying transformation and flow. Transformative energy of the unconscious. The fish symbolizes the transformative energy of the unconscious mind, representing the hidden emotions, fears, and desires that surface during significant life changes. This signifies the importance of delving into these aspects to foster personal growth and self-awareness. Embracing emotional depth. The fish underscores the necessity of embracing emotional depth when facing transitions. It highlights that fully acknowledging feelings such as grief, joy, or confusion is essential for processing experiences and facilitating healing during transformative times. Intuition as a guiding force. The fish represents intuition and instinct, encouraging individuals to listen to their inner voice when navigating significant changes. Trusting these instincts can lead to better decision-making and a deeper understanding of the lessons offered by life's transitions. Symbol of fluidity and adaptability. Fish embody fluidity, emphasizing the need for adaptability in the face of change. This signifies that embracing life's uncertainties with an open mind can help individuals navigate the challenges and opportunities that come with transformation. Connection to spirituality. The fish also signifies a strong connection to spiritual realms and higher consciousness. This highlights the role of spirituality in understanding and coping with significant changes, as engaging in spiritual practices can provide clarity and support during transformative experiences. Invitation to dive deep. The presence of the fish in the Death card invites individuals to dive deep into their emotions and subconscious thoughts. By engaging in introspection and exploration of these deeper layers, individuals can uncover valuable insights that aid in their personal evolution and pave the way for renewal and transformation. Serpent, embodying change and healing. The significance of the serpent in the Death card. Transformative power of death and rebirth. The serpent under the Death card symbolizes the profound transformative power inherent in the cycles of death and rebirth. This representation emphasizes that true personal growth often necessitates the dissolution of old identities, beliefs, and patterns of behavior. By embracing the idea that endings are a crucial part of life's journey, individuals can recognize that they must sometimes undergo significant transformations to evolve and reach their full potential. Shedding old identities and habits. Just as a serpent sheds its skin to allow for new growth, this symbolism highlights the importance of releasing outdated identities and habits that no longer serve one's highest good. This act of shedding represents a powerful opportunity for renewal, where individuals can let go of limiting beliefs and emotional baggage, paving the way for new experiences and perspectives. By confronting and overcoming these old attachments, one can embrace a more authentic and empowered version of themselves. Healing and renewal. The serpent also embodies the themes of healing and renewal, suggesting that the process of transformation is not merely about endings, but also about restoration and rejuvenation. By navigating the challenges associated with letting go and embracing change, individuals can restore balance in their lives and cultivate a sense of vitality and purpose. This journey toward healing ultimately leads to a deeper understanding of oneself and the interconnectedness of life, reinforcing the notion that endings are often precursors to new beginnings and profound growth. The serpent highlights the transformative nature of death and rebirth. It emphasizes the importance of shedding old identities and habits to facilitate personal growth and evolution. By embracing this process, individuals can experience healing and renewal, restoring balance and vitality in their lives. Shadow psychology. Confronting the unseen, the importance of shadow psychology in the journey of transformation under the Death card. Shadow psychology under the Death card represents the confrontation with the unseen depths of the psyche, the dissolution of denial, and the revelation of truth. It mirrors the card's transformative current, where the hidden and repressed are brought to the surface to be purified and renewed. Through this process, the individual transcends illusion and attains psychological and spiritual wholeness. Acknowledgement of the hidden self. The Death card compels one to recognize the buried layers of emotion and suppressed desires that silently shape thought and behavior. By acknowledging these aspects, one initiates the alchemical process of transformation, turning unconscious weight into conscious wisdom. Integration of the shadow. True rebirth requires embracing the shadow rather than rejecting it. The merging of light and dark within the psyche symbolizes the union of opposites, the essential reconciliation that brings inner equilibrium and self-knowledge. Liberation through confrontation. Facing the shadow dissolves fear and self-deception, freeing energy once bound in repression. This confrontation mirrors the Death card's scythe, cutting through illusion and clearing the path for regeneration of character and spirit. Awakening to wholeness. By accepting and transforming what lies hidden, the individual is reborn into authenticity. The shadow once feared becomes the source of power and renewal, revealing that death in its deepest sense is the transmutation of ignorance into illumination. Scorpio astrology. Transformational depth. The significance of Scorpio astrology in the Death card. Emotional depth and intensity. Scorpio astrology embodies profound emotional depth and intensity, emphasizing that true transformation often requires individuals to navigate complex and sometimes tumultuous feelings. This energy encourages individuals to explore their emotional landscapes, confronting the fears and vulnerabilities that may arise. By acknowledging and understanding these intense emotions, individuals can unlock significant personal growth and develop a greater capacity for emotional resilience. Confrontation of inner shadows. The symbolism of Scorpio highlights the necessity of confronting one's inner shadows, those hidden fears, insecurities, and unresolved issues that can impede personal development. By facing these darker aspects, individuals can initiate a transformative process that brings clarity and understanding to their emotional experiences. This confrontation is essential for breaking free from limiting beliefs and patterns, enabling individuals to move toward a more empowered and authentic self. Healing through transformation. Scorpio's association with cycles of death and rebirth reinforces the idea that profound change often requires the relinquishment of the old to embrace the new. This transformative energy serves as a reminder that healing can emerge from the depths of emotional struggles. By embracing the process of transformation, individuals can achieve renewal and empowerment, ultimately fostering a deeper connection with their true selves and paving the way for a more fulfilling life journey. The significance of Scorpio astrology under the Death card profoundly illustrates the necessity of embracing the tumultuous yet transformative nature of our emotional experiences. By navigating the depths of intense feelings and confronting inner shadows, individuals can unlock essential insights that pave the way for personal growth and healing. What does the Death mean in tarot divination reading? The Death card signifies transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It represents the closing of one chapter to make way for new opportunities and growth. In a divination reading, Death encourages the seeker to embrace change, release what no longer serves them, and welcome the possibilities that arise from letting go. This card emphasizes the cyclical nature of life and the importance of accepting and initiating profound changes. Understanding the meaning of this card in a tarot throw. Up to this point, you have been learning about the intricate details and symbolic meanings associated with this particular card of the Greater Arcana. In the following section, we will delve into various categories and scenarios of interpretation that may present themselves in a reading for you or a client. First, let's review factors that may influence your decision and choice of interpretation. Intuitive read on yourself or the client. Personal connection. Your personal connection or the client's connection to the card can influence its meaning. Tune into your intuition to gauge how the card resonates on a deeper level. Emotional state. Consider the emotional state of yourself or the client, as this can affect how the card's message is perceived and interpreted. Spiritual sensitivity. Be aware of any spiritual sensitivities or inclinations that might shape the card's significance. Placement in a specific tarot layout. Position in the spread. The position of the card in the tarot layout significantly impacts its meaning. For instance, its presence in the past, present, or future positions can alter the interpretation. Role in the layout. Understand the role of the card in specific placements, such as the challenge position, the outcome position, or the advice position, each of which offers a unique perspective. Context of the spread. Different tarot spreads serve different purposes. For example, Celtic Cross, 3-card spread, relationship spread, and the card's role can vary accordingly. Relationship to other cards in the throw. Complementary cards. Look for cards that complement the one in question, enhancing its themes and messages. Contradictory cards. Identify any cards that might contradict it, suggesting a need for balance or highlighting areas of tension and conflict. Major Arcana influence. The presence of other Major Arcana cards can intensify the significance of the card, emphasizing major life themes and spiritual lessons. Suit influence. The suits of surrounding Minor Arcana cards, Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles, can provide context and detail to the card's message, such as emotional insights from Cups or intellectual clarity from Swords. Now that we have taken the journey through the symbolism of this card of the Divine Arcana Tarot, let's journey into several relevant points within a divination reading. As you have already noticed, there is much repetition in this training. For our students, this is very important. You will see now how much of the symbolism you have been learning about is repeated in the different categories of a tarot divination reading. The death in a divination reading. Astrological representation, Scorpio. The death card aligns with the astrological sign Scorpio, symbolizing transformation, endings, and rebirth. Scorpio's energy encourages deep introspection, emotional intensity, and the courage to embrace change. Just as Scorpio delves into life's hidden depths, the death card asks us to confront the inevitability of endings and welcome the renewal that follows. This card reflects the themes of emotional transformation, the shedding of old layers, and personal evolution, reminding us that growth emerges from the acceptance of change. Transformation and renewal. The death card emphasizes profound transformation, symbolizing the shedding of the old to make way for the new. It invites you to embrace changes that may feel unsettling, trusting that they are necessary for personal growth. This card assures that endings lead to new beginnings and renewal. Endings and new beginnings. This card signifies the conclusion of a chapter in life, such as a job, relationship, or belief system. It encourages you to release what no longer serves you, making space for new opportunities and fresh starts. The death card reminds you that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Emotional release and letting go. The death card calls for emotional release, inviting you to let go of attachments, fears, or past burdens. It teaches that clinging to the past prevents personal evolution. This card encourages you to release emotional weight, knowing that freedom and healing lie on the other side. Rebirth and personal evolution. This card highlights the process of personal evolution, where an inner transformation leads to rebirth. The death card symbolizes the shedding of old identities and the emergence of a truer, more authentic self. It reassures you that even in loss, new life is waiting to unfold. Cycles of life and nature. The death card reflects the natural cycles of life, where every ending is part of a greater pattern of change. It reminds you that life moves in cycles, and just as nature renews itself through seasons, you too must embrace life's phases with grace and acceptance. Acceptance and surrender. This card teaches the importance of acceptance and surrender. The death card encourages you to stop resisting inevitable changes and to flow with life's transitions. It reminds you that surrendering to the process brings peace and opens the door to new possibilities. Facing fears in the unknown. The death card challenges you to confront fears about change or uncertainty. It asks you to look beyond fear and see transformation as an opportunity for growth. This card invites you to explore the unknown with courage, trusting that it holds the key to renewal, purification, and release of the past. The Death card emphasizes purification, symbolizing the clearing away of what no longer aligns with your true path. It invites you to purge outdated beliefs, emotions, or habits, creating space for fresh growth. This card teaches that letting go is an act of self-liberation. The power of transition. The Death card reflects the power of transition, showing that moving from one phase of life to another is essential for growth. It encourages you to embrace the in-between spaces where transformation occurs. This card reminds you that true empowerment lies in embracing change with trust and openness. 10 Common Card Placement Position. Past influence. Upright, in the past position, the Death card reflects a significant ending or transformation that shaped your current path. This could indicate a past chapter that ended abruptly, a relationship, job, or way of thinking, pushing you toward personal growth and renewal. Reversed. Reversed, the card suggests that you may have resisted an ending in the past, prolonging emotional or personal struggles. Perhaps you held on to something that no longer served you, and its lingering influence still affects your current circumstances, making closure necessary. Present situation. Upright, the Death card in the present position signals that you are in the midst of a major transition or emotional transformation. You may be experiencing the closing of one chapter and the uncertainty of a new beginning. This is a time to release what no longer serves you and embrace renewal. Reversed. Reversed, it indicates resistance to change, suggesting you may be clinging to old habits, relationships, or ideas. This card encourages you to confront the fear of letting go, as avoiding necessary endings can lead to stagnation or blocked progress. Future outcome. Upright, in the future position, the Death card foretells a significant change or transformation ahead. It suggests that letting go will be essential for your personal growth, and though the process may feel challenging, it will lead to a sense of renewal and freedom. Reversed. Reversed, it warns of possible delays or resistance to necessary changes in the future. If unresolved fears or attachments persist, they could hinder your progress. The card advises preparing for transformation by embracing the inevitability of endings. Obstacles or challenges. Upright, as an obstacle, the Death card highlights the difficulty of releasing what is no longer serving you. You may be struggling with accepting that an ending is necessary for your growth, fearing the discomfort of change. The challenge lies in surrendering to transformation. Reversed. Reversed, the card indicates that avoidance of change or emotional resistance is preventing growth. You may be holding on to outdated patterns or beliefs out of fear of the unknown. The challenge is to confront this resistance and allow transformation to take place. Advice or guidance. Upright, the Death card advises you to release what no longer aligns with your highest good. This could involve ending a relationship, job, or belief system that is holding you back. Trust that by letting go, you make space for renewal and new opportunities. Reversed. Reversed, the card encourages you to examine what you are resisting. It suggests that clinging to the past out of fear or habit is preventing you from evolving. The advice is to embrace transformation even if it feels uncomfortable, trusting that it will lead to greater freedom. External influences. Upright, the Death card in this position suggests that external events or circumstances are driving change in your life. You may be facing shifts in relationships, work, or your environment that are forcing you to let go and adapt. These influences are pushing you toward transformation. Reversed. Reversed, the card suggests that external resistance to change may be creating tension. Perhaps people or circumstances around you are holding you back from making necessary changes. This card encourages you to stay grounded in your truth, even if external influences resist transformation. Hopes and fears. Upright. In this position, the Death card reflects a hope for renewal and personal transformation. You may long for a fresh start and the opportunity to let go of the past. However, it also highlights a fear of endings or the uncertainty that comes with change. Reversed. Reversed, it suggests a fear of loss or the unknown, making it difficult to embrace change. You might worry about what lies ahead if you let go of the familiar, even if it no longer serves you. This card encourages you to trust that transformation leads to growth and renewal. Outcome or resolution. Upright, the Death card as an outcome suggests that embracing change will lead to renewal and personal growth. This card indicates that an ending is necessary for a positive resolution, and by letting go, you will create space for new opportunities and experiences. Reversed. Reversed, it warns that unresolved resistance to change may delay resolution. You may need to release emotional baggage or old patterns to move forward. This card encourages you to confront what you fear losing, trusting that the ending will bring freedom and growth. Current influences. Upright. The Death card as a current influence suggests that change and transformation are unfolding in your life. You may feel like you are in a state of transition, shedding the old to welcome the new. This card encourages you to trust the process and release what no longer serves you. Reversed. Reversed, it indicates that resistance or fear of change may be blocking progress. You might be holding on to outdated habits, relationships, or beliefs, creating stagnation. This card urges you to examine what needs to be released for growth to occur. Key theme or lesson. Upright. The key theme of the Death card is transformation through endings and new beginnings. The lesson is to embrace change with trust and openness, recognizing that every ending creates space for renewal. Growth requires letting go of the old to make way for the new. Reversed. Reversed. The card suggests that the lesson lies in overcoming resistance to change and confronting fear of loss. It teaches that clinging to the past prevents progress. The key to personal evolution is learning to release what no longer serves you, trusting that transformation will lead to renewal. Exploring the enigma. Unveiling the wisdom of the Death card in tarot through the insights of a occult visionary.
Aleister Crowley. Death is but the gateway to another life. The card does not so much represent physical death as it does the transformation of matter, a continuous flow of destruction and creation. In the greater mystical sense, death is liberation, the casting off of worn-out shells. The Book of Thoth, 1944. Arthur Edward Waite. The veil or mask of life is perpetuated in change, transformation and passage from lower to higher, and this is more fitly represented by the idea of death than by any other. Behind the world of the visible are the broader planes of immortality. The Pictorial Key to the Tarot, 1911. Rachel Pollack. The Death card, while often feared, marks not an end but a powerful transformation. It asks us to accept the inevitability of change and understand that what we perceive as loss is often the beginning of a new and vital phase of life. 78 Degrees of Wisdom, 1980. Paul Foster Case. The Death card is a profound symbol of transformation. Its lesson is that what seems like destruction is a necessary process for the evolution of consciousness. Death symbolizes the release of energy from outdated forms so that it can assume new and higher patterns. The Tarot, a Key to the Wisdom of the Ages, 1947. Manly P. Hall. The Death card is one of the most misunderstood in the tarot. It is not a literal end, but a symbol of metamorphosis, the shedding of an old skin to allow for new growth. It speaks of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth that governs all creation. The Secret Teachings of All Ages, 1928. Sally Nichols. The Death card in tarot represents not merely physical death but the psychological process of death and rebirth. It signals the end of one phase and the beginning of another. In Jungian terms, it symbolizes the death of the ego and the birth of the self. Jung and Tarot, An Archetypal Journey, 1980. Oswald Wirth. Death is the great initiator, transforming what was into what will be. It is not to be feared but revered, for it is the symbol of perpetual evolution and progress. Every end paves the way for a new beginning, and the scythe clears the ground for fresh growth. Le Tarot des Imagiers du Moyen Âge, 1927. Gareth Knight. Death card invites us to let go of the old and embrace change. It's not about physical demise but the necessary endings that prepare the way for new beginnings. It reminds us that change is an essential part of life's cycle, and we must surrender to it. The Magical World of the Tarot, Fourfold Mirror of the Universe, 1991. Lon Milo Duquette. Death is an agent of transformation and purification. In the Thoth Tarot, the skeletal figure wields a scythe, cutting away the old and making way for the new. This card emphasizes that what we call death is a transition, not an ending, but the breaking down of forms to release spiritual energy. Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, 2003. Alejandro Jodorowsky. In the Death card we confront the idea of dissolution, which is necessary for regeneration. It is the passage through which the old dies and the new is born. This card tells us that everything must come to an end in order for transformation to occur. The Way of Tarot, the spiritual teacher in the cards, 2004.